Good morning. So, past couple of days I've been running around, getting a little bit of extra stuff I had to do. Get that done before I could even sit down. So, I hope everybody had a really nice sleep if you're on the East Coast and back. If you're over in Europe, I hope you're having like a really, really great day. But now's a chance to just take that breath and let our shoulders relax a little. And see what the universe has for us. And good morning. What's that? Cries. Crystal Dragon. There was a 5 in there. Good morning, Crystal Dragon. That was funny. So this is where we let our shoulders relax and we take that extra breath. And the cards to me sound like waves, and it just reminds me to breathe. So we can do a little spread here, see what the universe has for us, see if there's any tips or tricks, things to watch out for the day or for the week. Any anger or resentments we can review before they pop up. So maybe if we deal with them now, we can act a little bit differently when it does pop up and confuse people because we reacted different. Which is part of meditation, just understanding ourselves. Listening. Prayer is when you ask. Meditation is where you listen. So here is my stack. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make 3 stacks with it. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. Each one a different conversation, because the top 4 cards here will be a different conversation than these 4 or those 4. So today it's Friday. We're about to march forward into the weekend. Let's see what's right here on the surface today. So I'm going to do my 3 and 1. Okay. And I will flip each card over one at a time, because I do the stream of consciousness and intuitive thing. And so I'll kind of go through each card and read each card as we go along here. And as I'm going through, I may be telling a story, may go in one direction, but this final card, just like when you're reading a book, you find out the last page the butler did it. So let's see. Sometimes need to switch to audio. Mobile data, unrealized shoulder relaxation. It's awesome for my, yes. So, and I don't know if I recognize you, Crystal Dragon. We do this every morning also. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's see what the book has to say today, what the story says. And today it is the Magician. This is about taking the knowledge that we have, things that we've learned, and putting them to use. It's about people like using the word manifesting, which means creating something from nothing. So that's taking our knowledge and that's taking our skills and applying it to something, and all of a sudden we create something. So, and here we have the Cavalier, we have the Knight of Coins. So with the Magician looking towards the past, the Magician is looking towards where he's built up his skill and things like that. We have the Knight of Coins who is looking forward, and he's actually very intent on his object, on his project, on what he's looking at here. And so the Knight of Coins, they are very intent on getting their project done. They're very conservative. That means about like taking notes and things like that, and just going through your checklist and checking things off. So far it's about just breathing, going through our checklist. But sometimes with this Knight of Coins, it can be a very boring card, because notice how he's staring so intently at that coin. He doesn't see the other things around him. So sometimes he's just way too focused on that one thing. Whereas the horse, the horse is aware of everything. Look at that horse. He may not be watching where he's going, but the horse is. So let's turn over this card. Ooh. Okay, so now keeping in mind that the court cards can generally be people, which it means it could be us, could be somebody else, or could be a situation. But when we pull up two majors like this is where we want to take that pause, take a breath, and reflect, because now the Moon card is about walking through our fears. It's about not being put off by the shadows. It's about intuition. It's about going into unknown territory. But so far what I'm seeing here is that this is saying so far that we may be moving into unknown territory, but that we can rely on our skill and we can rely on what we've learned. And that we definitely want to go through this, and we should have confidence in ourselves for whatever it is that's coming up. And I'm going to turn over the last page here, which is the Seven of Wands. And the sevens are about potential and ambition. So this is definitely a reading that says you are prepared. So the expectation here is that something is going to come up. This could be a task that's given to us. This could be something that's thrown our way. But we're not going to need to feel like we're caught by surprise. We need to just remember, we've got this. This is really actually a very, very positive outlook here. Because when we look at the Moon card, sometimes when we're going through a forest and it's twilight, we get scared by things that we just don't understand. So it's twilight out. We may look behind a tree and think, is that a person or is that an animal? But if it's broad daylight, we would actually see that it's just a rock, or that it's just a branch, that there's nothing there. But see the little lobster here? That's our alligator brain. That's our autonomic responses. That's where we just want to, that's our fight or flight alligator brain there. And we don't need, and that's under the surface. So that's where our fears bounce from, is from that alligator brain area. And that's not what we want to focus on, because we have three layers to this card. We have the alligator brain, we have the conscious, which are the dogs and the wolf, and then we have the subconscious. We are going to be going into a situation. We really can be positive, even though we may not see it. But we need to remember that we are not the lobster. We don't need to just react. With this Seven of Wands, it's about being prepared to take on the situation and not being afraid. Knight of Pentacles, team for hell knows for how long. Has been me and team for hell for how long? Not sure what that means, which feel free to elaborate. But I know that this card here, maybe what's happening is that moon is, the coin is drifting in and becoming the moon. And that will be our focus. Looking at the past, we have prepared ourselves because he's looking at the past. He's skilled. He's got everything on his table he needs. Now it's time to go forth, and he's focusing on that project. Nothing is going to dissuade him from it, and he has that confident look. And then slowly night comes, and that coin turns into the moon. And that horse just keeps walking along that orange, that yellow there. But we don't have any fear. We're going to stand up for ourselves and be prepared. So don't. Today it's all about not letting the alligator brain kick in, because we have this. So if a situation arises, remember the Knight of Coins. Focused, prepared, has a checklist. He's been focusing on the sun here, which slowly drifts into the moon. So he's prepared. He's watching to see the transition. So this horse, which is confident, can now walk through. And the Seven of Wands. Wands are fire. Wands are energy. And sevens are about all that potential. If you think about the Rider-Waite, the Seven of Wands shows the guy standing up on a rock, and there's 6 other wands in front of him. But he's got the high ground. He is ready. So all I'm doing is just emphasizing the fact that whether you feel it or not, understand that you've got this. There's things that we can prepare our entire lives for, and yet the alligator brain wants to kick in. There are things that we are prepared for. Let's say here in the United States, it's a tax audit. We can prepare for it. We think we've got it. Alligator brain. We get pulled over by a cop for speeding. We think we've got it. We're prepared for it because we weren't. You know, maybe we have a camera, dashboard cam. But alligator brain, the moment authority stands in front of us, right? We've been working on this project at work. We've got everything lined up. It's time to present it. Alligator brain. It's an absolute flow here. And the last chapter says, be prepared so that you don't freeze. You haven't been focusing on that. You are focusing on this. Feel free. Feel like you have the confidence. You know, especially, let's say somebody who's been in therapy, because I've done that before. We can go through the therapy. We can line our stuff up and think, you know, it's difficult to get all that stuff lined up and be prepared to move forward. We're ready to take that step, and our alligator brain kicks in. Right? And the only reason I'm overemphasizing this is because it's 2 majors right here. When we have our majors, it's so important to just realize this is important stuff. The minors are day-to-day stuff. Majors are destiny cards. This destiny card says, we've started, we prepared. This card says, we are now ready to take on the challenge, because that's what knights do. And this card gives us a choice of either reacting with the alligator brain or more of a spiritual, more of a, I've got this because I'm not afraid. I can look up and not look down. And the 7 is saying, you got the high ground. You may be opposed, but you have this. Dinosaur enlightenment. So, go forth and prosper. That's pretty much what this is saying. So, I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. That is my plan. I plan on doing lots of music. And let me see something here also, because I know that Facebook has not been doing well about presenting comments. So let me make sure. Bounce in here and see. Okay. So again, thank you everybody. I see we got quite a few people on here between YouTube and Facebook and all. So here, if you go to MyTarot.org, you'll see that there's a link there for the Facebook page, which is where I kind of hang out, and this is streaming live on Facebook. The MyTarot.org YouTube page. If you type in MyTarot.org on YouTube, it'll take you to where we have all of our the Two of Wands, which is our journey through the tarot. We spend an hour on each card looking at the history and the meaning. And the MyTarot.org page also lists where if you just want to contact and say hi. So, everybody out there, I hope you have an amazing day. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. And I will see you on Monday. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you again so much and take care.